So today's class is going to focus on the muscles in here. These are your adductors. We're going to do a little bit of rotation with the hip as well. And then we'll stretch and strengthen the obliques, which are these muscles here, which I find, I don't know, they seem to get, I think they get forgotten about quite a bit. I think people often focus on their abs. They might focus on their butt and their back. But I think it's easier to forget about these areas here. So today's class will focus on that a bit. So let's just begin as we often do. We'll come on to the back and relax for a few moments. And this is a great time to see if you can just kind of check in. And there are three areas that you might do this. So the first one is just the physical body, how your body is feeling. And this can be a bit tricky because usually when we move, we'll feel more. So like, I know there are certain parts of my body that if I move them, there's pain, but like laying here, I feel perfectly fine. But still, for some people, there will be some discomfort or pain or things that are obvious even when you're still. So take a little bit of time just to feel that. Maybe the body feels tired. Maybe it feels, just noticing what you feel physically, kind of checking in on that level. And then the next thing I'll encourage you to do is notice your breath. So without changing it, just noticing the breath. And then noticing your mood. So, sometimes we feel very heavy. We show up to class with something weighing on us. So just noticing if something is like that. And the reason we do this partly is because most of us are so busy. We may not have another opportunity during the day where we do this consciously, where we sort of check in and just notice how everything is doing. And the final thing to check is just the mind. For many of us, the mind is very, very busy. It's just full of information and to-do lists and things like that. So just noticing if that's the case. And then we'll circle back to the breath, and we'll begin to deepen our breathing. So as you all know, we do 3-part breathing in this class. So inhale, belly, ribs, chest in that order. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Okay? So the way I'd like you to use the breathing is to encourage a sense of release of tension and also just a sense of vitality or aliveness. So see if you can find that in the breath. Not my description of it, right? See if you can really go into your own experience and say, okay, can I find what he's talking about? This sense of vitality. Can I feel that as I breathe deeply? Can I feel the release of tension as I exhale? And your answer may be no, that's okay. These things can change, but I really want it to be experiential for you, where you actually can feel and sense these things. From there, we add the ujjayi, which is that hissing sound. It's going to slow the breath down even more. It creates what's called an object of meditation. So that's something for us to kind of focus the mind on. And it makes the lungs work a little harder. Now that might sound like a bad thing. It actually strengthens the lungs. So it might seem counterintuitive, like we're restricting our breath. Don't we want to breathe deeply? we do want to breathe deeply, but also slowly in a controlled way and in a way that helps to strengthen and increase our lung capacity. So Ujjayi does that. So as I think you all know, we don't stop the 3-part breathing just because we start Ujjayi. So these are like techniques that are layered one on top of the other. Okay, let's bring our right leg in. This is the leg cradle. We often start our movement portion of the class in this way. So we're just sort of feeling into the hip there. And this is often the case. I do a lot of hiking on the weekends, a lot of walking, moving. And so I'm feeling that in my hip and leg a little bit of soreness or stiffness in my glutes, a little bit of sensitivity at the front of the hip on this side. So again, I'm just going to note that. It doesn't mean I can't do the class today. It doesn't mean I'm injured. But I'll just note, again, note that, and that might inform the decisions I make during the class. Okay, so from there, we'll drop the leg out to the side, and we want to stretch in the inside of the thigh here. And so for some people, knee bent, they'll feel it. For others, they may need to like straighten out the legs some more. Okay, so you can do legs straight and lift and lower. You can also straighten and bend the leg a little bit. See if you can find that stretch. Today, it feels like I can just keep that leg bent and just manipulate it like this. So I'm just trying to wake up these muscles in the inside of the thigh. All right, once I've done that, for me, I'm going to grab the big toe and straighten out the leg. Okay, so I'm going for now a static stretch here in the inside of the thigh. Not too much. It's still early in the practice, so we're not completely warmed up yet. But taking a few deep breaths into that part of the body. Good. Let's come back to center, and there's one other area we'd like to warm up a little bit, and it's out here. So like we did last week, we're going to pull that foot in, bring the shin parallel with the ground, with the chest, and then if we want to be more aggressive, we can actually cradle the leg. Now you notice my left leg is just kind of doing whatever. So some people put that foot on the ground, some people keep the leg straight, some people lift it in the air. Not that important. This is the leg we're focusing on, okay, the right leg. So again, I'm using this to try and feel into my rotators, to wake them up, warm them up, and just to, again, see what condition they're in, how they're feeling. All right, good. Let's switch legs. So we begin just by cradling the left leg. Now, as I mentioned last week, this hip is more sensitive. It's been kind of acting up lately. So I've got some kind of old injury there, or some kind of dysfunction. I shouldn't say injury. I don't know that's what it is. But something isn't functioning right. And it, I can feel it. Some pain there, discomfort when I do certain things. Okay, from there, I'm again going to drop this leg. So I'm just going to scoot over because I got the wall there. But I'll drop this leg out to the left. And I want to move it and find the stretch in the inside of the thigh as best as I can. A little harder on this side. So it's, again, we're not perfectly symmetrical. Okay, from there, I can straighten that leg out and hold the stretch and take a few breaths right into that stretch. Now, interestingly, I feel it there, but I also actually feel it in my waist. And that's an interesting fact, because again, this is one of the reasons why I sequence these two things together, the sides and the leg here, because they very much are related with one another. They affect one another. Okay, let's pull that leg in, and we'll now pull the foot toward us. And again, we're just looking for that stretch in the rotators. So that's like pigeon, that same region, the outside of the hip there. Actually inside the outside, if that makes sense. So deep in those glutes, that's where the rotators live. And that's the area we want to wake up here. Get them moving, stretching, get some blood flow in there. Okay, let's release that side. And as we often do, let's do just a tiny bit of core here. We'll bring those legs in, slide our hands under the hips, palms down. Take those legs straight up, lift the head and neck, take a deep breath, exhale, lower the legs. Good, then inhale, pull them in and up, and exhale down. And if you want to work harder, you just keep the legs straight as you lift them. And just notice how gradually I lift and lower the legs. So that's a full breath. So I'm not popping the legs back up, right? I'm taking my time lifting them back up. And that's ideally how you do it. Just very measured, very controlled. The inhale and the exhale are the same length, right? So lifting and lowering should take the same amount of time. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath. We're going to exhale about a third of the way. We take a breath there. Then we exhale another third of the way. We take a breath. And then we exhale, hovering just above the ground. Take a breath. Good. Inhale, lift the legs, and exhale, pop up to seated. Come now into a tabletop position. Let's do a few rounds of the cat-cow. So I did some ab work this weekend. I'm feeling that as I do this cow position. It stretches that rectus abdominis, so I can feel that. So again, when we move, very often it tells us the condition of our body. So what's sore, what's been worked, what feels stiff, what might be injured. But at the same time, as I repeat the movement, the sensations lessen, right? Because as the muscles warm up and blood flow gets in there, it generally feels easier to move. Let's also do a few side to side. So again, this will get into the outside of our hip and our waist a little bit. And that's an area that we will be focusing on today. So we want to, again, wake those areas up. Okay, now let's take a look at our first of the side planks that we'll be doing today. So the first variation, this is one we've done before. I'll just keep my knee and my left knee, left hand on the ground. I just inhale and lift up into the side plank. Ideally, I place my hand directly below my shoulder and my knee directly below my hips. Everything is stacking, so shoulders, hips, I'm looking up. I've got a nice long neck, so I'm extending the crown of the head and then looking up. And that's our first variation of the side plank. Good, let's exhale that hand down. We'll do the other side. Same idea here. Okay, so I think as you're all aware, this should be accessible to everybody. I want you to make sure this shoulder is engaged, okay? So that right shoulder, you're pressing the ground away from you. And later on, let's exhale that hand down. Later on, as we build more challenging variations of the pose, if you decide that you can't do one of those because you're injured or it's a little bit beyond what's safe for you today, then you just repeat that or one of the other variations. So you can use that variation throughout the entire class. All right, let's tuck the toes, lift the hips. We come into our first down dog. And again, now we're saying hello to our toes and our ankles, the calves and other muscles in our legs, but especially the low leg. You know, you might still feel your hips or other things that we've worked, but this is largely about those toes and a little bit with shoulders too. So, you know, if you have a shoulder thing going on, it may show up here in your down dog. Okay, once you feel you've warmed up, let's come into our full expression of down dog. Take a few breaths there. And with our exhale, we'll walk our feet to our hands, coming into a ragdoll. So you can grab the opposite elbow, nod or shake the head, sway the hips, bend the knees as necessary. All right, arms are relaxed. We inhale and we're rolling up to stand, stacking ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. Now, as usual, we'll do another stage, if you will, of warming up. I'm not sweating or anything. I don't actually feel like really warm. Usually by the end of the sun salutations, I do. Okay, so it is sort of like another stage of it. So feet touching, we inhale, arms up, touch palms, and lift the heart. So stretch the front of your body here, gently, lengthen it, and then exhale, forward fold. Good, let's inhale to the half lift. And we exhale and step back to the top of a push-up. This is plank. So as always, wrists are directly below the shoulders. Shoulders are engaged. And ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels intersect in a straight line. Okay? So really, really common in class. I see people doing that. That's not quite it. Okay? That's the only way you can do it. That's okay. But see if you can get those hips down. Also, this is not correct either. So just try and sense or feel, or maybe turn on your camera, take a look. See if you can get those hips right between the shoulders and the heels. All right, take a deep breath. Exhale, let's drop those knees, bend those arms, take a breath there. It's not easy to hold that position. And then exhale the rest of the way down. And then tops of the feet to the mat, inhale, lift the head, the neck, the chest, but keep your hips on the ground. So can you see my hips are all the way on the ground? It's just my back bending. When I do this, it's not my back bending anymore, right? My thighs are lifting. So this is all back. That's what we want to do here. Good, exhale, lower down. And press back to tabletop and then downward dog. And take a breath or two there. All right. So with our next inhale, let's fill the lungs. And as we exhale, we make our way to the front edge of the mat. Inhale up to the standing back bend. And then grabbing the right wrist, we exhale to our side bend, Ardha Chandrasana. So again, the sides are very important for us today. What do you feel? Both on the lengthening side and on the compressing side. Let's inhale back to center. We exhale the other side. Again, what do I feel there? Is there any pain, discomfort? Just noticing stiffness, soreness. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And then again, exhale, step back. When you step back, see if you can get in the habit of alternating feet. It's it's not the end of the world if you don't, but it's a good habit to get into. It's a good mindfulness practice just to notice which foot you did each time. Okay. All right, knees up or down. Take a deep breath and exhale halfway down. This time, inhale, straighten arms and legs for up dog. Again, notice this time my knees are up. So if I want my knees down and my hips down, then I'm just going to repeat cobra, okay? Otherwise, up dog, legs are active. So it's not this sort of lazy thing here. I'm active through the legs, okay? Exhale, pull both feet in, lift the hips, up and back you go to downward dog. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I'm definitely feeling that heat building. Even just holding this position, I'm feeling it. So we'll do one more, and by then, should be pretty well warmed up. Inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back. Stretch the front. Exhale, stretch your right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, stretch your left side. Inhale, center. And then exhale, sit back. This doesn't stretch anything. It just strengthens your glutes and quads. So it's mainly the front and the back of your thighs that are getting hit here. Good. So inhale, standing back bend. So again, we stretch that front side, and exhale, forward fold, stretch the back side. Inhale, half lift, and if you're able, exhale right to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale for upward facing dog, and then if you can, exhale, do a push-up on your way back to downward dog. All right, so hopefully you're feeling warmed up too. We'll begin getting into some other postures. Let's start with another side plank. So we learned the most basic one earlier, the easiest variation. Now let's inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale that foot about halfway. Roll onto the edge of your left foot, and then inhale, stack the hips and the shoulders. So what's unique about this variation is I can decide how much weight I'm going to put in the foot. So I can make the foot really light, right? So I'm not putting much weight there. And then I'm using my obliques. And that's one of the things this posture does. It strengthens those obliques. I'm also, again, pressing, right? This is active here. I'm not collapsing in my shoulder. I'm active in the shoulder. Okay, looking up. Again, reaching through the crown of the head there. All right, now again, if that's too much, what do? I drop this knee and I do this instead. Okay? All right, from there, let's exhale that hand down. We inhale the leg up and back, exhale and lunge. All right, so you're lunging here. And then we'll inhale to this position. So I turn just so I can continue facing the camera, okay? You don't need to turn on your mat or move to the other side. We are turning though. So we lunged and then we turn like that, okay, with the inhalation. So this is called Skandasana. Notice the foot is flexed. That's helps stretch the bottom of the leg. And generally this stretches right in here. That's your groin. So kind of the back of the thigh, but more the inside of the thigh. And some people may be up here. That's okay. Okay, so you can come as low as you're comfortable going. And hands can stay on the ground. Some people bring their hands to the heart. Some people put their hands in the air. Really, that's up to you, okay? So we lunge with the exhale. Inhale, we turn. And then as we exhale, we'll take it over to the other side once we get flowing, okay? But right now, we're just gonna learn that much. Okay, so from here, let's turn back, and then we'll inhale that leg up and back, right leg up and back, and then exhale, bottom of the push-up. And we make our way to downward facing dog. Okay, let's do side plank on the other side. So feet touch, we inhale left leg up and back. And then as we exhale, take it about halfway, and then inhale to a modified side plank. So this is what I would call the second variation. You're able to, again, modulate how hard you're working. So again, it's not the full expression, but it's getting closer to it. So this is very, very close. This is a great way to work up to doing a full side plank if you're not quite there. Good, deep breath. Let's exhale that hand down. Again, I'll turn just for the camera, okay? So you don't need to turn. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale and lunge. Okay, and then inhale to, again, Skandasana. Now notice I didn't go over to the other side of the mat. I just turned. So that's the first step. We exhale, lunge, inhale, and turn. And again, I want to feel the stretch here. One other thing that some people do is they'll bind this leg. You know, whatever works for you. We're not going to hold it when we flow, so you will not have time to bind, and you can't hold that bind when you move. So just keep that in mind. You may have to play around with your torso a little bit, but see if you can find that stretch. I feel a tugging here sometimes. That is not desirable, just FYI, okay? You're not trying to stretch your tendon. You want to feel it in here, the belly of the muscle, okay? All right, let's go ahead and exhale. We turn to face front and inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, bottom of your push-up. Make your way to the downward dog. Okay, from down dog, let's inhale to the toes. We'll exhale front edge of the mat. We inhale up to standing and exhale hands to the heart. Okay, so let's take a look at tree pose. So you have few options with your tree pose. The first one, let's shift weight over to the left foot, bend the right knee. I'm mirroring you, okay? So bend the right knee, and simplest tree pose just would be like that. Okay, so the heel's resting on the ankle there. I want to take it a step further. I pull that heel up to the calf like so. A little bit more. I place the heel on the inside of the thigh and the groin there. Now the one place I won't put it is on my knee. So we just don't put it on the knee, okay? Could destabilize the knee. And then the final place you could put it would be up here, which is into the hip crease, and you end up with a lotus, a half lotus with this leg, okay? Now you could hold this foot with your left hand, but you could also reach the right hand around and bind the toe like so. Okay, and then whichever tree you have, you can grow some branches and leaves for your tree by raising either both arms or one arm up. Good. Let's exhale, we'll release that side. Let's take the other side now. So same thing, choose where you want that leg. And please remember your edge, what that concept is in yoga, how that works. So we don't always want to do the easiest thing, the safest thing. But when we step out of our comfort zone, we want to just take a small step. That is the best way to do it. Just take a small step out of the comfort zone. Not a huge leap, not a, swan dive out of the comfort zone. Just a little step. And see if you can turn that into part of your comfort zone. And then once you've done that, you take another step out of the comfort zone. Okay? All right, let's exhale, release that. At the front of our mat, inhale, standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom the push-up, making your way to down dog. Okay, great work, everybody. So let's take a look at the classic side plank. So this is our third variation. Most people can get into it rather simply from this position. So just bringing the heels to touch and then rolling to the left, I inhale, lift my right arm, okay? So again, one of the things I see a lot in class looks like that. Does that look like a plank or does that look like an arch? Right, so it's called side plank. Everything, again, I can make a plumb line. Nose, middle of the chest, pubic bone, knees, heels. That's what I want, okay? So getting as close to that as you're able. Good. Let's exhale, lunge. Now again, I'm going to turn just for the camera. So I'm in the exact same position. Okay. Exhale, lunge, then inhale. I pivot, Skandasana. Now, exhale, other end of the mat into a lunge, okay? And then we repeat. So inhale, left leg, up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge. And then inhale, pivot, right? Good. Exhale, other side of the mat. Let's do that again. So inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot. Exhale, other side. Good. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot. Exhale, the first side again. Okay? Good. Now this time, we'll inhale and lift up to Ashtha Chandrasana, crescent lunge. We do this one a lot. It's in my opinion, a really powerful posture, good for a lot of transitions. It strengthens and stretches the hips. Also very energizing, requires us to find our inner strength. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale those hands down. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, bottom of your push-up. Okay? Good. Make your way back to down dog. In downward dog. Let's again take a look at our side plank. So feet touch, and then see if you can just roll over to the right side this time. Stacking everything up. Again, that right shoulder is engaged, right? You are actively pressing the ground away from you. If you feel wobbly, take the top foot and just place it in front like that. Not this thing, that's different. Just in front. Create a little more space there. Good. Let's exhale that hand down. We lunge. And again, I will turn just for the camera. So I still have my left leg in front, right? Inhale, I pivot. Exhale, other side of the mat. Good. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot. And exhale to the first side. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Pivot, Skandasana. And then inhale, lunge at the other side. Good. One more time. So inhale, leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot. And exhale to this side again. Good. This time it's inhale. Come up into our crescent lunge. So feeling that front thigh working. The front of your right hip stretching. The arms are up and back. The chest is open. So the front side of the body is opening and stretching. Good. Exhale. Bottom of the push-up. Make your way back to downward dog. All right, from down dog, let's inhale to the toes. We exhale front edge of the mat, and we inhale up to standing. Good. Exhale, hands to heart. So as always, we can option, if tree, the balance was really hard for you, you can option to stay with that, keep working on that, and maybe, again, just take a small step out of the comfort zone. So if this is your comfort zone, then maybe you do this time and you are wobbly and you practice making that comfortable, stable, okay? If you were able to do what I was doing, which is bringing this foot into the half-lotus here, from there, whichever hand you have, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and try and bind, because that's really the full expression of the posture. Okay. Then from here, what I'd like to do, and this is only available with the half-lotus here. So if you have your foot on the inside of your thigh, you don't want to do this next step. So next step is inhale the arm up and then exhale, forward fold. And if you like, you can actually grab this toe as well and pull yourself forward and down. Good. With our inhale, let's come on up and exhale, release that side. All right, so a little lightheaded. Let's try the other side. Take your time. That lightheadedness is just blood. So if you have low blood pressure like I do, then sometimes coming up you might feel lightheaded, especially when you're hot. And again, you don't want to faint, but that lightheadedness, it's not a bad thing. Your body is having to, again, adapt. The cardiovascular system is having to work, managing the blood pressure in your body. It's very good to make it do that. And we do a lot of that in yoga, especially when we're folding over and then coming back up. Okay, let's use that inhale. We come on up. Woo. And then exhale. We release the posture. Okay, from the front of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, bottom of the push-up. All right, so if you're hanging in there, you're doing great. For this next one, we'll explore another of our tree variations. So feet come together. I come into the classic side plank, and then if I want to take it a little further, I bring the foot up. Sorry, not tree variations, but side plank variations. Okay, so again, the temptation I think is to drop those hips down or lift them way up. So see if you can really keep that straight line of the plank. That's what we want in our planks, that kind of straight plank of wood. Good. From there, you can lift this leg, exhale, and lunge. All right, and again, I'll turn just so I can continue facing the camera. Inhale, let's pivot to Skandasana. We exhale over to the other side of the mat. We inhale up into crescent lunge. Exhale the hands back down. Inhale the leg up and back, so left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot, right? So Skandasana. Exhale, lunge at the other side of the mat. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, back edge of the mat. Inhale, crescent. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the leg up and back, left leg. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot, Skandasana. Exhale, lunge at the front of the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. And then exhale to a Vinyasa 2, Warrior 2 pose. Okay? So fingertips are reaching out. Arms are basically parallel with the ground. The right thigh approaching parallel with the ground, right? You can see mine's not quite there, but that's the direction I'm going in. I'm working toward that, you might say. Left leg is straight, and the toes can either point straight ahead or they can angle slightly toward the front of the room. Up to you. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up, and make your way to down dog. Okay, side 2. So feet touch. I roll to the right into a classic side plank. And then again, if I want to take things one step further, I bring that foot into the tree. So we're combining tree pose and side plank. Good. Again, I can lift that leg and exhale as I lunge it. Okay. And again, I'll turn. So the left leg is forward for all of us. Okay. Then inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, lunge at the back of the mat. Inhale to a crescent lunge. Good. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot. And exhale, lunge the other side. Good. Inhale, coming up, crescent. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot. Exhale, back of the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Good. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, back of the, or front of the mat, sorry. Inhale, crescent, right? And then exhale, Warrior 2. All right, from there, take a nice deep breath. Exhale, cartwheel down. Bottom of the push-up, making your way to the downward dog. All right, so from our down dog, let's inhale to the toes. And exhale to the front edge of the mat. Let's inhale up to standing. And we'll exhale hands to the heart. Okay, so again, I can repeat what I've already done. I can try and again take a small step out of my comfort zone, what's known and what's easy for me. Or I can take this next step if that is taking a step out of your comfort zone for you. So, same thing. I bring, this is going to be your right foot, right? It's my left foot, but I'm mirroring you. So your right foot into a lotus position here. And then this time we don't bind the foot. We just inhale, arms up, and then exhale. We come down carefully into what's called a toe stand, Padangusthasana. So at first you probably keep your hands on the ground to get a sense of balance, but once you've got that, hands come to your heart. Trying to maintain my balance there. All right, let's inhale, we'll come on up. And exhale, we release that toe stand. Side two, same thing. So again, tree, bound tree forward fold, or this one, which is the toe stand. Now just be sure that your ankle, your knee, and your hip are all happy if you are doing the toe stand. So we don't want to feel pain in those areas when doing this. Good, let's use an inhale to come back up. And we use an exhale to release the posture. Good. Okay, inhale, standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the half lift and exhale right to the bottom of your push-up. All right, so we have one more side plank variation. This one the most challenging. So first we start with a classic side plank. And then to add on, you just lift this top leg, and that's called a starfish. Some people grab the big toe and pull it up. I'm not that flexible. Good, exhale, let's lunge. Again, I'll turn just for the camera, okay? This sequence is a little challenging because I need to face the camera for one pose, and the next pose it's flipped. Okay, let's inhale, Skandasana. We'll exhale over to this side of the mat. Inhale to our crescent lunge, right? We exhale to a warrior two. And then we'll inhale up to the stupa. We're going to exhale to a warrior two, facing the other side of the mat. Good. We inhale to crescent, and then we exhale the hands down. And we start the whole sequence again. So inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, other side of the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to stupa, which is just a transition. It's not fancy. Shouldn't be difficult. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, crescent. And exhale the hands down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, Skandasana, so stretching in here. Exhale, lunge at the back of the mat. Inhale to crescent lunge. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale to stupa. Now listen carefully this time. We'll exhale, hands to our hips. Heel toe the feet out to a comfortable but wide distance. So exactly how far is really going to depend on your body. Let's get the inside edges of the feet basically parallel with one another. Okay, so we're not pigeon toeing. Our toes are not out, right? They're parallel. Okay, and then from there, we inhale the arms up and we exhale into our forward fold. Okay, so Prasarita Padottanasana. So walking those hands back. Maybe when you're here, you decide you want those legs a little wider. That's fine. And we're targeting the inside of the thighs. So it may not be the deepest stretch you've ever had, but hopefully you can find that stretch there. Just breathe into it. Good. Let's inhale, we come on up. You can heel toe back in a bit. Exhale, warrior two, facing front, right? Inhale to crescent, and exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way to down dog. Okay, so let's try that on the other side, shall we? So feet touch. I inhale to my side plank, and again, to add challenge, I lift the leg for the starfish. Good. Let's exhale, we lunge. And again, I will turn for the sake of the camera so I can continue facing the camera. We inhale to Skandasana. So again, we're targeting in here. Exhale, lunging at the back of the mat. We inhale to a crescent lunge. So this stretches the front of the left hip. Exhale to a warrior two, also left hip stretching. Inhale, Skandasana, or sorry, Stupa. Exhale, warrior two. And then inhale, crescent lunge. Good. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, back of the mat. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Stupa. Exhale, warrior two, facing the other direction. Inhale, crescent. And exhale the hands down. Good. One more time. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, lunge at the back of the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Stupa. Exhale, warrior two. Oh, sorry. Inhale, Stupa. Exhale, hands to your hips. So again, let's do Prasarita again. Okay? Now, when you repeat a posture, you have the opportunity to maybe go a little further if it feels like your body's ready to do that. So walk those feet out, and then inhale the arms up, and then exhale, forward fold. Now, exactly what you do with your hands is not that important to me. You can grab your big toes, right, and use your arms to pull yourself down. Other people walk their hands back, pulling themselves a little deeper. Some people like to interlace fingers like this. Good. So inhale, we come on up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, bottom of the push-up as you make your way to down dog. Excellent work, everybody. Okay, so we have our sort of challenge posture. Let's exhale, front edge of the mat. We inhale up to standing and exhale hands to heart. So this is sort of what we've been working up toward. Now I don't, as always, I want to emphasize, I don't want you to feel that you need to do this or that there's something wrong if you can't, okay? But it gives us a direction to move in. It gives us an excuse to do different kinds of movement with a purpose in mind, right? Rather than just randomly. If you just randomly move your body in a systematic way, that can be very good for you. But again, it's sort of like, well, why were we doing that? So this is why. Okay? So you'll see, hopefully you'll recognize some of the movements. So I shift weight to my left foot, I bend the right knee, and again, this is a move we've done several times. And again, this might be a little bit out of your comfort zone, in which case I recommend you try it. But if it's a lot out of your comfort zone, then just skip it today, okay? All right, from here, I'll try and create an arm balance using this. So we learned crow pose last week, and this is a crow with a lotus. So I inhale the arms up, I exhale forward fold, and then this leg, which is going to be your left leg, is going to be in a crow. So again, the shin bone comes to the back of my arm. Now the right leg stays in lotus, but same thing, I bring the shin bone to the back of the arm, I look up, I shift weight forward, and when I've done that enough, my toes will get very light, at which point I can just lift that leg and hopefully maintain my balance, okay? So again, if that's way out of your comfort zone, skip it. Maybe you try a crow pose today instead. You know, if last week you weren't able to do that, or even the baby crow, right? So substituting in things that you have practiced that you may not have mastered yet. Let's do the other side. So same thing here, I set up in the same exact way. You wouldn't know which pose I was doing at that point, right? But once I come here, I could be doing a toe stand, but instead I bring the shins to the back of the arms and then gradually shift weight onto my arms there. Okay, so that's Ardha Padma Bakasana, 1 foot half lotus crow. All right, great work, everybody. So let's come on to our back. Bring those legs in, give them a squeeze. And then we'll twist both knees to the left as we look to the right. Good, let's inhale through center. We exhale to the other side, same thing. Good, inhale back to center. Grab the soles of the feet. Happy baby, just give everything a good stretch. Give it a once over. Use the position and the posture to help the body relax more fully by stretching anything that needs stretching. And when you're done, come into your Shavasana. Set a timer for 6 minutes and just allow your body to rest in stillness for that 6 minutes.